For more on this case, I want to bring in one of the lawyers for Mahmoud Khalil, Amy Greer. Amy, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
We learned today the judge said that Khalil can get one privileged phone call today and tomorrow. Have you or your legal team been able to speak to your client yet, and how is he doing?
I have been able to speak to him, but not on a legal privilege or legally privileged call. So we haven't been able to speak about the case freely because all the calls are recorded. So I have spoken to him. I can confirm that he's in as good as spirits as a person can be when they're being unlawfully detained. And we've been able to be in pretty regular contact with him, either myself or his wife. But tonight will be our first chance to actually speak openly with him on a line that's not recorded. Is
he confused? Is he scared?
I think he's angry. I think he's confused and scared. And I think, you know, the fact that he hasn't been able to have, like, good consultation with the legal team means that he's feeling you know, disconnected from everything that's happening so quickly that affects the rest of his life, and yet he hasn't necessarily had a chance to participate in that, to answer questions or have us answer questions so that he understands what we're arguing and why.
Laura Jarrett brought up sort of this jurisdiction roulette, if you will. He gets picked up in New York, taken in New Jersey, now he's in Louisiana. Do you know why he's in Louisiana?
We don't know why. What I can say is I was on the phone with him that night when he was picked up, and they told us that they were taking him to 26 Federal Plaza, and then...
which is New York?
Which is New York, Manhattan. And then we learned later the next morning on the ICE website that he was in Elizabeth, but then in New Jersey. When we tried to confirm that, we couldn't confirm that. And then next thing we know, he's on his way to Louisiana.
Okay.
So why, I don't know.
I do want to play some more of what Secretary of State Marco Rubio said. We heard a portion of it, but I want to actually play the whole thought and get your sense of it on the back end. Let's play that.
This is not about free speech. This is about people that don't have a right to be in the United States to begin with. No one has a right to a student visa. No one has a right to a green card, by the way.
So I know you don't agree with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, but legally, does that argument hold any water? Will it uphold in a court of law?
Well, the first thing I'll say is this country did grant him a green card. He has been vetted by this country, and this country has found him to be somebody that we want to have here. So I don't agree with that statement. There is this rarely used provision that we know that they're citing to. I would argue that there isn't a valid ground to invoke that provision in this case, and that's what we're arguing. But will they be successful? You know.
Is there any evidence that your client ever communicated with, emailed, talked to, texted, tweeted with Hamas, that he worked in any kind of coordination with Hamas?
Mahmoud is a human rights defender. He himself is born of refugees from Tiberias, Palestine, was born and raised in a refugee camp in Syria, and has worked his entire life to defend human rights and to defend Palestinian rights. There's no reason to believe, and I don't think anybody who knows him would argue otherwise or suggest that he would have any connection with any of these entities. But that's also not what he stands for. That would be completely opposite to his values.
I want to play another soundbite. This is from one of the attorneys that is working with you on this case. Here's what he had to say.
It simply cannot be the case that you can be disappeared at night off the streets of New York City simply because the current U.S. government, the current administration at the White House dislikes what you have to say. That is, you know, not just un-American, it's also unacceptable.
So my ears went up when he said disappeared, right? Because it sort of harkens back to Los Desaparecidos, which was the dirty war in Argentina, late 70s, early 80s. Tens of thousands of young people literally picked up from the street, disappeared in Argentina, tortured, killed, some thrown from airplanes. Is that what this is here? Is that a fair comparison?
It could be. We're still seeing how this all plays out through the end. But what I can say, having been on the phone and heard how he was taken, we didn't entirely know why he was being taken. It turns out that the reason they gave us wasn't actually the reason he was taken. We didn't know where he was going to be taken. We lost contact with him for, quite some time. So I think that in this country, this is not what we're used to in this country. And it is directly counter to our Constitution that people should just be taken, not heard from again, moved halfway across the country without anybody knowing why or where or how or what the justification is. We still haven't heard a justification. We've heard a lot of press conferences. We've seen a lot of social media, but we ourselves have not received direct evidence from this government as to why they're targeting Mahmoud Khalil with any, evidence that can be directly attributed to him.
Amy Greer, we thank you for joining Top Story tonight.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.